Hey guys and gals, hope everyone's doing well. So this next video I did not plan to make, and if you are finding this video because you are encountering the problem I'm about to share with you, I'm very sorry that you are here to learn how to fix this, but the good news is that with this video you are going to be able to solve this problem. So rest assured everything is going to be okay. But the problem is I came out to my car recently to try to open the engine cover and it wouldn't open, and I couldn't figure out why. And I was activating the switch in the door sill over there and I couldn't hear any noise. There was no sound of an actuator releasing or pulling on the cable to release the hood like you, or the engine lid like you normally would hear it. You know, it's normally a pretty loud noise. You could hear it, and you can hear the sound of the cable being pulled, and then the lid pops up and you lift it up. In my case, it wouldn't happen. It didn't work. So the first thing I did was I checked the fuse in the fuse panel in the driver's side footwell, and that turned out to be okay. I think it was either fuse B1 or B2, but either way, I think B1 is for the front release, and I think B2 is for the rear release, and both fuses were fine. So I was left in a predicament because the engine lid cover just would not go up. How do you, in the world, do you get the engine lid cover to go up if the actuator's not working? So I went online. I was able to find a few posts that kind of showed where there's this release cable to release this thing. But unlike for the front, because in the front they have a release cable in the left front in the left front wheel well that, if you remove the wheel, you can get to this cable and pull it and it releases the front. But for this thing, the release cable, you're not going to believe where it is. The release cable is under the lid. Now, how are you going to get to that release cable if you cannot open the lid? It's crazy. I can't even believe that the engineers at Porsche designed this thing in this way. You would think that they would put the release cable somewhere that somebody would be able to get to. Not too easily, but not as hard as what you're about to see. So if you are here to figure this out, I'm going to show you. And if you like what you're seeing here, please don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Feel free to make fun of Porsches for making things incredibly complicated to work on, as I'm sure you've seen in some of my other videos. And stay tuned, because this is going to get a little bit interesting. Be right back. Okay, so here's the predicament. If I want to try to fix this myself, and we're going to see if I'm able to do this, because I haven't yet quite figured out how to open up this deck lid. Now, I've gone online and checked, and apparently there is like an emergency release cable that if you are able to pull on it, you should be able to pop the deck lid. That's not very easy to get to, as I have come to discover. Now, in order to get to it, you have to raise the spoiler, which is why my spoiler is raised. I don't normally have it raised. And then there's this plastic piece here. And by the way, I'm not going to be able to show you guys in great detail exactly what I'm doing here, but this is the plastic piece that when you're kind of taking things apart in the back, it comes off. When you're done, it snaps back into place. But this plastic cover will reveal, if you look way back in there, and I'm going to try to get the camera in there, but there's a little cable. If you are lucky enough to be able to find it and move the cable in a way where you could pull it, that should activate the release for the deck lid. Now, in order to find that cable, I had to, first of all, it's very tight here. I mean, you've got to get to a hole way back in there. But even then, you still just can't see it. So I had to use this little mirror thingy. And then I also had to use a coat wire. I had to use a coat wire that I bent and using the mirror thingy to find this little cable that you need to pull and kind of move it into position. But then I had, where is it? I had a plier, a needle nose plier that I don't know. Oh, here it is. I had this needle nose plier that, it's just like I couldn't get my hands back in there. It's nearly impossible. And these needle nose pliers just weren't cutting it. And, to be able to see it easily, I had to like prop the flashlight in there. I'm gonna actually try to get you to see this little cable in just a second. But anyway, so I ended up having to run to Home Depot to find a longer plier because this one wasn't cutting it, but this one might. So I'm hoping that with this plier I could reach it and pull that cable. So hang on just a second. Okay, so you're gonna have to bear with me here because I'm doing my best to try to show you how to find this cable that needs to be pulled. So in order to find it, you need to first lift up this plastic piece that comes up. If you've ever done an oil change, you're familiar with how all these pieces come up. I'm gonna go ahead and take my flashlight and wedge it in here to help illuminate the area where I want to show you where this cable is. Now, it's a little tricky, but I'm hoping that you could see exactly where this is illuminating. Now, you might not be able to see the cable right now, but I'm gonna do my best to make it so that you can. So here is my little long extension metal mirror thingy. Now you're gonna see the cable now when I show it to you, but you're not gonna believe how hard it is to get to. Well, you will believe it when you see it. But I'm gonna wedge that back in there. I'm gonna position this mirror so that you can see this cable. Now there it is, actually. If you see in the cable, or if you see in the mirror reflection, there is a metal cable with it looks like a silver ball at the end. I can't tell if you could see it with the camera, but I'm moving this around so hopefully you can see it. That silver ball is what you want to be able to try to pull with the plier. Now previously, I wasn't able to pull it with the other needle nose pliers that I had. So I'm going to have to try to somehow reach these pliers in there to be able to pull it. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do it with the camera situated here where it is, because right now this camera is positioned where I need to be in order to be able to reach that. But I'm really hoping that you could see this cable. Let me see if I can pull it out a little bit. Well, I'm pretty sure you could see it in the reflection in the mirror, but that's the cable that we need to get to. And I could see that all I got to do is pull it out. Just pull it away and that should pop the latch. So anyways, that's it for right now. Stay tuned. I'm going to let you know if I'm able to get to it. You'll see it hopefully once I get it done. All right, so hang tight. By the way, there's the cable there. I was able to actually get it. Let me see if I can show you. It's pretty hard to get the camera in there, but it's this cable right there. That cable, pulling on that cable is what opened the latch. Let me get up close to it so you can see it. All right, well, I'm happy to say that using these very long needle nose pliers and working my way up under there to this thing right here, and you see I've wrapped a white wire around it. There was this, you can see there's a little ball there attached to a wire, and that wire is actually an emergency release. You can see I'm pulling it, and that actually releases the latch. I've attached this wire here because I'm going to probably have to close the lid again and figure out exactly what the problem is, but I am quite certain it has something to do with the actuator, and that's about it. So for right now, this video is just to show you how to release this latch here if the actuator is bad, or if somehow you need to release the rear lid and it's not due to a disconnection of the cable there, but something with the actuator. Alrighty, be back soon. Alright guys and gals, so we can now fast forward to the finished solution here. And I'm happy to say that there wasn't actually any parts that failed on this vehicle, not on the actuator, not on the latch, not on anything. Unfortunately, I'm embarrassed to say that there was some human error involved, and that human error had to do with not putting parts back together carefully during a previous maintenance. So I want to show you exactly what happened and what was discovered to have been the problem. So if you recall from earlier in the video, we have the latch here. We have a cable that is pulled to open the latch, and that cable is pulled from this actuator that sits below this plastic piece here, below the harness. That actuator was, unfortunately, the electrical connection that controls that solenoid actuator was not well put back together during a previous maintenance, and as a result, during some driving, that connection must have come completely disconnected, which caused there to not be a way to activate the actuator and open the latch. So here, once again, there you could see, I'm going to try to make it so you could see it. There is the cable that you have to pull. You could see with the little ball on the end, and now instead of that white wire, I have a zip tie attached there, and the zip tie is a little nicer than that white wire that I previously had on there, because now we can just tuck the long end of this zip tie underneath the black plastic part that sits there, although I hope and expect to never have to use that again. And I want to remind you once again how I got to that. So recall that we came in under here. There was the black plastic panel that I lifted up, and you could see that cable that you have to pull sits underneath here, underneath that part of the body. So with the help of a mirror, I was able to find that cable. Let me try straightening this out a little bit. I was able to find that cable, and with the coat hanger, pull it up. I think you could see it there in the field of view. I hope you can. And once I had that cable pulled up, I was able to use a needle nose pliers to lift it up and open the lid here. So anyways, that's it. No malfunction here. The only malfunction was a human malfunction when putting this all back together. That could happen if you're doing a maintenance like changing the air filter, where you have to remove the spoiler, because when you remove the spoiler, you remove this whole deck hair area that is where you'll find that actuator. And that's it. So anyways, if you found this video because you encountered a similar problem, I really hope that this video helped, and I really hope that this doesn't happen to a lot of people. But if it does help you, I'm glad to know that. Please share with me in the comments anything you'd like to say about this, including how horrible Porsche engineering is for making such a ridiculous release for this engine cover. And that's about it. So don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you soon. Take care.